It's another beautiful morning, and today we got a little bit of work to do. So it'll mostly be contract work, but I figured we had to do one in August, one story in August. So what I got going on here, well, there's still two fields that need to be baled, and Zach Durham here has been waiting for a long time. But you know what? I don't want to bale. Zach has something else that I'm really interested in, and that is field 20, 30.82 acres. And he's got, oh boy, what's he got? Oats? Yes, oats. He's got oats in there. And I want to do that. I would so much rather do that because I'm feeling like it's harvest time. And as well as that, we might do some fertilizing. I saw there was some fertilized jobs that needed to get done. And I believe there was one other thing that I seem to be forgetting. Oh yeah, now I remember. We will be doing the planting of canola. And then next month we'll do some wheat and barley. Get some of that winter crop in. And come October, it looks like we'll be able to do our corn and soybeans. So I'm really looking forward to that. We do have corn and soybeans on field 2 as well as field 21. Without any further ado, I'm going to say accept contract. We do not need to borrow his equipment as we have plenty to go around. And Evelyn, she's got 51.62 acres that need to be fertilized. You know what? I think we can do this in the meantime as well. Make a little extra money, right? So why don't we accept that contract as well? This potato harvest for Sheila McFarland, I'm sorry. The money looks really good, but I would so much rather never ever harvest potatoes again. So you're on your own there, my friend. Let's get right into the action here and grab our combine, throw on the reel header, and let's get over to field 21. You guys can see corn on either side of me, and that is all my corn. It is coming in beautifully, so I'm really happy with that. Hopefully we have a really good harvest. I was thinking of chopping some up for silage, but I'm not quite convinced I have the right equipment. I might experiment a little bit, see what we all have going on, but for now it'll probably all just be combined. So I feel like I'm going to have to do at least 1 or 2 rows here, just so that they don't keep catching the power pole. So don't mind me, I'm going to do 1 or 2 passes here at the end, and after that it'll be up to the workers to do the rest. I figure we could put the old Ford 7810 to the task today to do all of our grain cart hauling. I think it should be up to the task, don't you? It's 105 horse or something like that. I think it'll manage just fine. We have a lot of other work that needs to be done, so I think this is a good place for it to be. Yeah, you know, speaking of other work that we have to do, the T6 is going to go off and fertilize that one field we accepted a contract for. So why don't we go get the fertilized cart, not hit any of these other wagons. It should almost look like we were going to do. They're suspiciously slanted. Oh, and that was 53 acres, I believe. So I am going to load up this wagon before I get going. I won't need a seed tender, I don't think. But I still want to fill this up all the way before we get going. Well, now would you look at that, the field doesn't have anything on it. That is interesting. There's also an exclamation mark on it, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But we'll put the driver to work and we'll see what happens. The Ford is pulling the grain cart like a champ. No worries in my mind that it can do it. I'm sure at some point when we get a larger grain cart, then it'll become a bit of a problem, but for now, it seems to haul it just nicely. So we have no complaints on our end. And I love how they revved it up to unauger, or unload the auger, I should say. That's a nice realistic touch on their end. I like that. I'm always looking for the realism, right? And then when I backed up a little, it dropped the acceleration just a bit. And drive forward, and you hear the acceleration drop again. Very realistic. I do enjoy that. But my goodness, it's a lot of oats here. We're gonna have many truckfuls, I'm pretty sure. But speaking of truckfuls, where exactly is this going? Let's have us a look. This is going to animal dealer. Okay, that's not bad. It seems to be the only place to drop it off anyway. In theory, it doesn't look like the cart is that much too big for the tractor at all. But it is definitely a good sized cart. Don't think I would go any bigger than that for this tractor. You can see that it's a little bit taller. Not too bad though. But we have our second cart full here. So this should be good. I think we'll probably have a bunch of surplus crop by the time this contract is all said and done. What do you know? We got a dump truck full. That is perfect. Off to the animal dealer we go. Get that all unloaded. We could close that cover. But why? Let's not hit that power pole there. Yeah, I figure I can dump door side now if we're going to the animal dealer because it's a large dump site. And we're gonna head right out there as we speak. I'll see you guys once I'm there. What do you know? Everyone's working kind of in the same spot. I figured I'd give that T6 a little bit of room there just in case you needed a bit of room to turn around. Looks like they're doing just fine. So till now we've been using the gate, and now we use the door. That's kind of cool. I have used boxes very similar to this. Oops, that was not right. Yeah, very similar to this. I believe the boxes are made in Winkler, Manitoba. And the one I used was on a Ford, I want to say an L9000 dump truck. But yeah, the box is just eerily similar. And good sturdy boxes though, I really enjoy using them. We need to hurry back and unload that auger wagon so that we can get that combine unloaded again. I didn't get any warnings yet, but I have a feeling that combine's pretty close to full by now. We do need to get our planter over on, what is it, field 25, yes. And I'm gonna try, see if the game will allow me to do a no-till plant. Just curious if it'll work. And we'll plant some canola on field 25. Not sure if it's of any use to me, particularly for a cattle farmer, but it is a cash crop, and we can use it as a cash crop, so it's more just for the sake of curiosity, I guess. We'll get this tractor lined up here, and we can jump on the 8770. See what we got going on there. Okay, let's see if we are able to do a no-till plant. It says field is not found. Okay. What if I do it myself? Am I going to get anything? I don't see the land being turned over. So I did do a little bit of planting. I'm going to turn that off. Oh well. You know what? No harm done. Start the engine. Fold up the seeder. No harm done. We'll bring the seeder back. And let's see if we have anything that we could use to till. Realistically, I could leave the planter there, but no, let's not leave stuff laying around. It's nice to keep things organized, right? And I believe I do have a cultivator there. I'm going to check the specs on that, because since we've upgraded the horsepower on this tractor, we just might be able to get away with a bigger, wider cultivator, which is always the goal, right? Less time we spend, the better it is. Well, now hold on just a cotton picking minute. Would you look at that? There's a wheel in the middle of the field. What is the meaning of this? Yeah, it looks like some big O-hose. I don't understand this. That is very strange. Bunch of junk on the field. How's that supposed to work? I don't understand at all. I see another wheel there on that silo pile, but yeah, in the middle of the field. I wonder how the combining's gonna go for that. Can't imagine that'll be really good. Oh well, strange things you see. Don't know if those are Easter eggs or if that's just a design flaw somewhere. Not entirely sure. It looks to me like our T6 is just about done with the fertilizing. About a pass and a half left. Very good. Yeah, so that should bring in a nice little chunk of change, I would assume. What was, yeah, $39,000. I think that's a nice little chunk of change there. And then we got 22 for harvesting this one, which is good, because there's a lot of things we need to do yet. And it looks like our dump truck is full again. Very well. Time to go dump off another load. You bet it's full. Alright. Guess we'll see you back on the field, folks. Would you look at that? Contract on field 15 is finished. Very good. So that means we can bring that tractor on back home. Maybe do something else with it. Who knows? By the way, this dump truck is almost full again. That is absolutely hilarious that it got full that quick. Let's see how the T6 is looking. Oh yeah, they're just meandering around, so let's rather bring them home. 57% for 50 acres. Okay, that is good to know. Very good to know. Well, we can collect the fertilizing paycheck of almost $40,000. Thank you very much. And we'll stop the engine there. Now, with that in mind, I said I was going to look at this disc harrow, and it's good for 180 horse with a 6-meter width. So why don't we take a look and see what else we have. This one here in particular, 7.4 meters on 180 horse. That was something that really piqued my interest. And 6.2, no. So why don't we grab this one? It's a little bit bigger, and it looks like there's not a lot of color choice there, but it's a cheap cultivator, and probably a lot cheaper than the one we have, and it's a little bit wider, so we'll buy. Yes, indeed. And we will sell the other one in just a moment. But first, I'm going to have to start bringing this thing on home. Honestly, that cultivator could be pulled by the T6, the one I just bought, and it's probably not going to grumble. Yes, here we are. So this is the cultivator we've been using, and it is a heavy cultivator. And what you see, we've got some what looks like a almost like a manual mower. So it's sort of like a little chopper, and then we got some discs, and then behind that we got another set of discs, and then we have some sort of packer wheels, 2 rows of them, as well as some spring tooth harrows. So this is what we're dealing with. And this is an over-engineered, really heavy unit. Giant tires on it, probably BKTs. It's a well-designed unit, no doubt, but really heavy. Now, what we also noticed was we get all this stubble it's been cut down, but it's laying there. And this is where our new cultivator is so interesting. This is a lot less engineered, a lot simpler of a unit, but it does a lot cleaner of a job. And again, we're not talking disker here. This is more of a chisel tooth cultivator, and that's followed up by these harrows, these drag harrows. And these each fold up individually. Each of these little pieces with a chain fold up when you're hauling it, and the wings as well fold up. So not only do we have a bit of a wider cultivator, but we have the harrows built right in, and it does a nice clean job. So I'm not sure if you can tell, but that dirt looks different than it does here. So that's really cool. And again, you're not leaving the stubble here. And this thing requires more power than this does. So I would say this red cultivator is a huge win in our books. And by the way, the T6 can pull it perfectly well. I would love to demonstrate that for you guys. We will take our 8770. We will fold this up. As you can see, the whole unit has to be lifted first before the wings can be folded, and then they have to go back down, and the tail doesn't really fold up. So it's a giant, heavy, clumsy unit. Now I'm not dissing this because it's been a good unit for us. I'm just saying sometimes less is better. And in this case, definitely less was better. So why don't we take our T6? We'll start that thing up. We will lift. And you know what? We will fold as well. So there you see it. You see those, those are just your harrows there. And there's the wings. They fold up, latch into place, and done. And those are just solid harrows. They're just dragging along on a chain. There's nothing fancy to them. They're not a spring tooth harrow or anything. So once again, we'll line up here and we'll unfold with the wings first. And it's a single arm wing, single arm action here. And our harrows just flip over. Really cool animation. And we'll drop that down. And now the only way to know for sure if the T6 can pull it or not is to hire a worker. So here we go. Look at that. 15 clicks an hour. That is perfectly fine in cultivating speed. There is nothing wrong with that. Maybe the 8770 could do it quicker, but I'm not so sure. There is one final point I do want to make with this cultivator versus the other one. And so for that, what we need to do, we need to have a look at what we own. So this disc harrow here is 24,373. That is what I can get for it. Okay, But what did that originally cost me? Let's have a look. It cost me $45,000. And do you guys remember what the other thing cost me? Was not 45,000, I promise you that. 9,300. And I get a better job for it? Why would I not? So, this needs to be sold. I got enough back that I could buy 2 of those cultivators. That is just fantastic. I have no complaints. And the T6 is putting along just beautifully. What more could we want? My AI worker decided to start backing up along the field. I'm not sure what that was all about, so I fired him, and I just decided, well, since we're at this end anyway, I may as well fill into the dump truck. It was probably the best opportunity right here to do that. And then I'll set him back into motion and he can get back to work. See what kind of worker we'll have this time. I don't need anyone backing halfway down a field. That's just not right. There we are. We want to get this field finished as efficiently as possible. Because time is money. And if you're just having fun backing along the field, you're costing me money. There we go. Now get to work. Our T6 was doing so well, I figured, you know what, I had to see what would happen if I hooked up just a bit more horsepower to that. So let's see what happens when we have our 8770 hooked up to this cultivator. We were doing about 15 clicks an hour with the T6, so let's see if that makes any difference. Does not appear so. Looks like 15 is kind of the max speed for this cultivator, which is not a problem. I think this cultivator still looks really good on this tractor. I see no problems with it whatsoever. So we'll let this guy get to work, and we need to go and see where our combine is at. Oh, look at that. Do you see what I see? I believe he found the tire. There's the tire. His header must have bumped against it, and he figured, you know what? I will turn around and I will go back. That is quite something. Well, you know, at least the AI figured that out. This has got to be load number 5 or number 6. I'm not sure which one. But we are definitely getting things done here. 92% transported. Wow. So the next load should not even be that, will definitely not be a whole truckload. We'll just have to dump a little bit and then stop it and see how far it goes. And then dump a little and see how far until we reach that 100% transported. And the rest of that can all be transported to us then. We've officially started with canola harvest, or harvest canola seeding. There we go. And I got a trophy, just a sprinkle. Very cool. So the seeding is going pretty well. And you know, that planter is rated for 180 horse. And the T6 is only 175 horse, as we can see there. But it is going along just well. 15 kilometers an hour. I couldn't ask for anything better. The cultivating is going at 15 kilometers an hour as well. So I would venture to say those two will not have a collision any point soon. We should, however, see how our combine is doing, seeing as it is on a collision course with that wheel. And we should be watching out to make sure that it does the right thing. We're coming up on that tire right now, and you can see the combine start to slow down. Right, oh, there it is. It looks like our driver doesn't know exactly how to deal with that. Let's see what kind of move he will make. I have a feeling, yeah, he's going to turn around and then take the pass back, which is not a bad way to do it, honestly. He should be able to finish this pass, and the field will probably be considered complete. So he's at 59%, which means before the end of the row he'll probably need to be unloaded. It's good to know. Very good to know. I don't think that little bit that's left there is going to affect the overall quality, seeing as we delivered 92% already, and there's still a whole bunch in the dump truck. Now would you look at that, we are all done. That is perfect. I'll move the combine off to the side so we can get to work with other things, but we will be bringing that thing home. It is looking like a filthy pig right now. And when you know, exactly 10 o'clock. That's perfect. We didn't have to pay anyone for anything in the 10th hour. I'm very happy with that. So, we got one more load we got to bring to the dump truck, and I guess we see how much we can bring into our grain bin. We have the auger all set up there. Hopefully we can put in a few liters in there. Last load. We got 15,750. Did we do it? We just gave him a little spritz, didn't we? Oh, that's enough. Shows 95% transported. I really want to be careful. Oh, just like that, contract done. There, the rest of this is ours. So we gave him about 4,000 liters. But no, the rest of this is all mine. I want as much of this as I can, for obvious reasons. There, back to the grain door, and back to the yard to unload this. Looks like the contract's done anyway. I'll probably end up making some bales in another episode on that, because I could definitely use some straw bales yet, and we could also sell some straw bales. That would definitely bring up the cash. We could sell them right at the animal dealer. They're always looking for a bit of extra straw. Off to my left, you can see that the tractor and planter and the cultivator are all really doing well. So that makes me happy. But what doesn't make me happy is I forgot to bring out the swing auger. Alrighty then. Well, you know, don't really matter. Gotta do it anyway. So, may as well bring her out. And I believe that'll be the last that I'll put in this bin for this season, because I don't know if there's any more oats anywhere. I won't move the auger just yet, you know, just to be sure, but I have that funny feeling that this is the last of the oats. We'll see though. And we can stop engine, and let's get that dump truck unloaded. Bring her around. I know I usually go parallel with the auger. I don't know why, because in the real world you most likely wouldn't, because you can't dump quite as much. But for some reason I just like this. It just looks right. Except for that. That was not right at all. There we are, see? Now it's looking good and proper. Just like so. That hopper would definitely be a lot fuller if it was real life. But we're not dealing with real life here, are we? Unfortunately not. Anyway, that should do it for the truck anyway. We can bring him on home. It didn't look like he got too dirty. Probably good for some more harvest yet. I can't wait until we get big fields where we have to put a pup trailer to it. I think that'll be really cool. There we are.